Alrighty guys, Jacob here. Welcome back to Angler's Adjustments. And guys, today we're fishing with a bait I've never fished before. I never fished with this style head. And we're gonna go into, we're gonna go in depth with this little guy. Talk about what I like about it and maybe what I don't like about it. And let me cut it short. There isn't anything I don't like about it. I actually absolutely love this thing. So let's get into it right now. So guys, this is a Megabass Shira head. This is the head that does not have that asymmetrical blade. It's just naked. There's no kind of underspin or there's no kind of little blade right there. It's just a bare swimbait head. And this head does have a 3/0 hook, and it is 1/8 of an ounce, right? And it's got this hand woven. I don't know what it's called. It's all red. It's done by hand, and it's got that nylon keeper right there. It's all black, that little niche that's sticking up right there. And it does a fantastic job of holding plastics in place. I mean, they do hold on to it really, really well. And I caught 3 fish on it in this video. And there wasn't any tears in the swim bait. We'll get into that. I had to re-rig that swim bait literally about 15 times because I couldn't get it straight. I'm not really used to threading on these small swim baits. It's kind of difficult for me, but that'll come with practice. But I put it on and off, and that bait was still holding on like it was brand new, which I'm thoroughly impressed by. Like this last video that I shot, I had some audio issues. I'll upload that clip. And I literally tore the swim bait off just to show you how tough it hangs on, and just show you how strong you have to pull on that for it to come off. It does a fantastic job of holding on to it. And that hook, guys, very, very sharp. Even the barb itself back here is sharp. The needle point is sharp. I love that hook. And I even pulled out a freaking brush pile out there on the deeper end of the pond, and it did not bend out at all, which is really, really nice, because I know if I get a big fish, I have a good chance of fighting them, and I don't really have to worry about that hook bending out on me. So for the bait, guys, we're using Megabass's Hazedong shad. It's right here, Megabass Hazedong shad. It is expensive. That's $6 a pack, and about $2 for a head. And the heads come with 3. It is pretty expensive, but from my experience with it today, I mean, it's worth every bit. Those baits hold on. They catch fish. One thing I will say with this head is that you have to ensure that everything is straight. There cannot be any kind of kink in the plastic. There can't be any kind of weird head angles that the plastic doesn't match right with the head. It has to be perfectly in line in order for this bait to track straight. Because if not, what you'll get is this or this, and it will literally swim to you the entire way like that, and it's just not very natural. It's not realistic. So in order to combat that, you have to be able to rig that thing straight the first time. If not, take it off, do it again. And if not the second time, if you're like me, and apparently I'm uncoordinated, I took it off 6 times or 7 times. It was ridiculous, and I finally did it straight, and that plastic was still holding on like it was new. And I was really, really impressed by that, because most brands, once you start rigging into a plastic, take a hook out, do it again, take it out, do it again, you start to rip the plastic, and it becomes very, very brittle. This plastic is forgiving. It will hold up for you. So enough on that, guys. Now, the action of it is very tight, but the good thing with this is that you can speed it up, slow it down, and as long as you have it straight, that baby will track straight for you all the way home. And that is something that is really important, because it maintains action at each speed, and that is something that you want, and I believe that you're getting what you pay for with these swim baits. They're that good. And for the rod, guys, I'm fishing it on a 7-foot medium. For this technique, you don't really need an insanely sensitive rod. This one is, but it's the only spinning rod that I have that I actually like and use. So it's just a Dobbins 703 SF, and I got a Shimano Nasaki on here. It's a 4,000 reel, pretty big reel, but that's fine. Most important part, this is Berkeley X9 braid. It's a 9-strand braid, very, very thin, When you throw it, it's super smooth, super slick. And I've got it on 10-pound P-line, 100% fluorocarbon. So I got some braid for some sensitivity, and I got that little bit of stretch in fluorocarbon. But the big benefit is that fluorocarbon is invisible in the water, basically. And yeah, it gets you more bites. And that setup right there, guys, has caught me fish. And I've developed the confidence because these fish are picky. They don't really want to eat anything other than small swim baits. And I've only fished with this for a day, and my confidence has just skyrocketed. I'm a believer now. So, guys, with that being said, let's go check out the footage. Let's make a couple more casts with this little swim bait. I'm not gonna lie, I am really excited to catch one on this. Come on, fish. I know you want this Hazedong. But yeah, that wind, guys, has made this bite tough. It seems like when the wind blows 10 miles an hour, 12, or that range where it's not too much wind, but it's just enough, the bite is awesome here. I mean, it really does shine. But when you get heavy wind, it seems like the bites are really far in between each other, that you don't get a ton of bites. Gonna drop this guy down and work him up and down like he's falling. It is getting tiny bites though, but I'm glad the perch are interested in it. Because usually when you find the right bait, it's like every single fish in the pond or in the lake pays attention to it and they all want to take a shot at it. So that gives me a ton of confidence. They actually cast pretty good. Thought it'd be a little harder, but that Berkeley X9 braid really does a lot. Oh, that's a bite right there. I keep getting little bites. There he is. Hey, there's our first fish on the Okashira head. He feels really little though. Oh, it's actually hey, that's actually a decent bass. He's very weak though. Come here, little guy. Look at that, guys. First fish on that Okashira head. Same place where I've been getting a bite. But look at how he ate it. Right there, in the mouth, baby. Man. I barely had him hooked. I mean, it literally came out just like that. Let's just look at this little guy. I mean, check him out. He's very small. Probably half a pound or a little less. But that is my first fish on that little swim bait, and it feels good. Let's go ahead and let this guy go over here. I just want to say goodbye to this guy, but yeah, what a nice fish, you guys. One last look at him. What do you think, Casey? First fish on that head. You like it? I like it a lot. There he goes. Oh, I just missed the tail walk. Oh, but you guys got it. Yes. That was cool. Okay, guys, so we caught one fish, right? We caught one fish. Now, let's look at the bait a little more. So, there isn't any tears on it. There isn't any kind of, give in the plastic. It's still on there really solid. It ain't going anywhere. That nylon keeper's doing a fantastic job of keeping that bait in the right position, even after one fish. But, one fish isn't enough, so we got to catch some more. I want to see how long each little Hazedong will last on a head from Megabass. So we're going to put that nylon keeper to the test and see how long it holds up. Because granted, it is an expensive swim bait and it is an expensive head, so we're going to see if we can get what we paid for. But it was a very subtle bite. The fish was how would you say it? He mouthed it. I felt him mouth it, and he just kind of swam with it. He didn't really swim up to it and hold it there. He kind of just bumped it along and kept swimming with it nice and slowly. He didn't really know he was caught or that he was hooked until he got a little closer to the bank, and that's when my rod started to fold up a little more. How insane would it be to catch a 4-pounder on this little thing? That would make my week. I'll be going to work happy, I'd be helping everybody with everything for no reason, and they won't even be needing help. I mean, I'll be in that good of a mood. I just need a couple more bites, y'all. This little swim bait, I mean, it has a very tight, subtle action. So whenever I'm reeling it to the bank, I'm paying attention to the action each time it comes in. Just to make sure it's running true. And when I'm reeling it at a slow speed, that tail and that little Hazedong is kicking really consistently, which is good. You want to see that, especially in that colder water when it starts to cool off like it is now. It's probably in the high 40s to low 50s at this little pond, but that little tail is still kicking back there with no issue at all. It's still maintaining its action. It's still proper. It's still in line, and it still looks really good even in that cold water. I like that it can still maintain its action on the slow retrieve. You pick it up some, and that tail wags a little more. After I straighten it out, it still runs true. I'm gonna burn it now, or reel it fast, and see if it just loses its alignment. So we'll just make a little cast here, a little short-handed cast, and then just burn it fast. And it's still running true. I mean, the bait is still holding upright at all speeds, which is fantastic. That's what I want to see. Still staying nice and straight. That tail wags very fast, but it still has a tight kick. It's not that big slapping wide kick from the paddle tail. It's a very subtle tight kick, which matches the hatch for winter very well. And these little minnows that are in here, they're about maybe, I want to say 2.5 inches, but very skinny. That's why I went with this Hazedong rather than the spark shad, because I've got some jigs that'll imitate the bluegills, but I didn't have anything for the minnows. So this presentation right here for a pond guy, oh, I'm getting a little bite right there. Yep, he's on it. For a pond guy, I mean, this little bait will do wonders for you. Hey, it's another little bass. He's much stronger, but he's tiny. Okay, second fish, guys. Let's take a little look at him. Not quality per se, but it is a start. But yeah, he's even smaller than the last guy. But there he is. Little tiny small fish. But he did eat that Okashira head. He said, I want a snack. Let him go now. I don't see any tears with this bait. It was knocked out of alignment from that fish right there, so that keeper moved just a little bit on that bait, but we'll straighten that out. But other than that, there's no tears in it. The tail is fine. The paddle tail doesn't have any kind of tears in it. All in all, it looks good. It just looks like that fish pulled it down. There we go. We are all ready to go now. But guys, I rigged that thing maybe 6 times, 7 times with that same little swim bait. It's still holding on pretty tight like I did it the first time, which I like. But as I get more practice with it, I'll get straighter and straighter. And the bait is still running true. Bait's still running true. Let's see if it does it on a faster speed. Yep. So we're still rocking and rolling, guys. So that was fish number 2. Alrighty, guys, we moved a little bit. We moved to a little area that's on a flat, because where I caught those 2 fish, they were on a break, and it wasn't a big break. Like, we're literally talking a foot. The way that they were positioned, they were getting ready to ambush off of a flat. So we're on another flat, throwing to another little area that kind of breaks off. And we'll see if we get bit here. It's kind of like this big flat that kind of goes in a big circle. And then it kind of stops like right around here. And then you got that long arm that goes way back to shallow water. Oh, that's a bite right there. There he is. There he is. There he is. See, we came out on that flat. I threw past the flat and into that little depression, swimming uphill. And they pick it up just like the last 2 fish. this one he actually feels a little heavier. I can't see him because of the sun yet. Oh, there he is. Okay guys, this is the third fish. He is a little bigger. Got a very nice hook placement close to the roof of the mouth. But there is that Hazedong shad sitting right there. Comes out nice and clean. We'll take a look at that bait here in a second. It is a little messed up on this one. But yeah guys, look at that fish there. The third fish on that really tiny swim bait. That is pretty cool. But notice how I caught that fish. We're on a flat, right? And there's a little depression. And that depression is not significant. It's only about a half a foot to a foot. So I threw out to that deeper spot, was coming uphill on that flat, just like those other two fish over there. We got another bite. Let's get him back in the water. We'll do it right here. And he's off to deep water again. So guys, that fish there, that's the third fish. And you can tell that that bait's been kinked. It's been kind of messed up. But let me try to straighten it out here. For the most part, that bait is still hanging on. There isn't any kind of tears. I don't see teeth marks on it. The bait seems to be holding on strong. Just got to re-rig it because I guess he tore the inside a little bit off of that little nylon keeper. That's why it's kinked a little bit. But let's re-rig it. And this is all that same swim bait. I did not change the head. I didn't change the swim bait at all. This is all on that same swim bait. And rig this puppy straight. So there we are guys. We got a nice straight head again. And we're still going strong. That keeper's still hanging on. No tears, no anything with that little swim bait. So honestly, I would say you're getting what you pay for. You get a nice action at any speed. You can burn it a little faster. That little tail will be kicking. Do it slower, the tail will still be kicking, and it runs true as long as you have that swim bait rigged straight like that. All in all guys, that's a badass swim bait. And it is hanging on. And it's not even struggling. It's not like I gotta fix it after each cast, because you know when your rod rips or your rod whips, you got to fix plastic sometimes. Or maybe you notice on your jig when you were to throw something and then you notice that your trailer slipped down and you got to push it back up. That's not the case with this swim bait. I mean, you just put it there, it's gonna stay, and it's gonna keep catching you fish, I would assume, all day long, because it's not even ripping. I'm stuck on something. That's not a fish. That feels like a big bag again. Well, I guess we're gonna be testing the hook strength. Let's see if it bends out. But that's definitely not a fish. I pulled in an entire tree, guys. Oh! It was a damn tree. That hook point ain't bent out. And that hook is still fine. Nothing happened to that hook. It's not bent. It's still razor sharp. I think that concludes this review. Come on. Hey. That hook did not bend out to that. That was pretty insane, right? I think I already said everything that I needed to say about that. I love that bait. And I love that head. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I had a blast making this video. It was fun, exciting, and I can't wait to try any more new things that I haven't tried yet. So guys, if you like this video just as much as I enjoyed making it for you guys, give me a like. Also comment down below what you want to see. I got to get out of here. Probably chuck some more lures. And that's it. I'll see you guys on the next one.